All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Curry. We're Bryon and Branden, Brian the Grizzly, and these two guys saw a movie. I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but we're going to talk about The Blackening.
This is what we're doing, guys. It's a takeover. It's a Blackening takeover. We're going to talk about this right now. We just had Juneteenth 3 days ago. I saw the movie on Juneteenth. It was so awesome. I'm gonna do a real quick synopsis, and we'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, real quick. So here we go. 7 friends go away for a weekend, only to find themselves trapped in a cabin with a killer who has a vendetta. They must put their street smarts and knowledge of horror movies against the murderers to stay alive. That's basically what happens. So,
pretty much.
What's your initial thought for The Blackening? Like, how did you feel about it, coming out of the movie theater?
Me, I thought it delivered exactly what the trailers promised. It just a send up of a lot of horror movie tropes and how black people fit into them. So I think it really did good with that. I thought that a lot of the characters, it had a lot of kind of stereotypical character archetypes that you see in these types of movies as well, especially over the span of like the last 15 or so years. I just thought, I had a fun time watching it pretty much from beginning to end.
Okay.
Just the thought of the movie makes me laugh.
It's like
the movie itself was so silly.
It was.
As I said, I was in the movie theater and people were laughing or talking about stuff, and that made it even more of an enjoyable experience for me. You walk into this movie, you know what the hell you're getting. Mm-hmm. So like, it shouldn't be like, oh, what was that? No, it was awesomeness with that. But it's not like it wasn't any more than what you thought it was going to be. So that's why I say like it's not smarter or anything like that. It just was a lot of tropes thrown in there. The names were hilarious. So you're going into the movie thinking that that you're going to have your main character is going to matter, right? Just like they do in most horror movies. And then the main character dies in like the first 2 minutes, and that's exactly what they do. You think about Jay Farrow is probably the most well-known person in the entire movie. Guess what? Jay Farrow lasted like 12 minutes, if that. So I thought that was interesting. But overall, I enjoyed it. But B, what do you see were the goods for this movie?
I liked the setting. I really liked the acting. I liked, just this kind of, it really had like the, kind of motley crew of stereotypical characters. The tough guy, the meathead, the sassy gay guy, kind of like the heavy set, kind of loud, sassy woman, the what's another one? The
African dude. There's always an African dude in every group.
The stereotypical dweeb, the exaggerated dweeb archetype.
The mixed girl. There's always a mixed girl.
There's always one mixed girl. That's the word I was searching for. So yeah, I liked that. I liked how they kind of went with the whole, the killer and the mass killer kind of, character. What's the one guy who played the sheriff, Dietrich Bader?
The Bader,
in a lot of comedies and stuff like that. It was good to see him. I didn't even realize he was in it. I like the tone of the movie was just a lot of fun. It didn't take itself too seriously. It knew what it was.
Okay.
Which I really liked. I appreciated that.
I think I talked about the stuff that I like, the good parts of it. I love movies that have a cast that are all one race or one culture, and shows different versions of that same culture. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's all the same. So you had, as you said, you had the African guy, you had the dweeb, you had the gay guy, you had a guy who was thought to be really cool, the extra ultra violent person, the loud one, the one who doesn't seem to fit. Like you had all those, the cool person that really works out, the person that's always saving everybody. All those things. You have different type of people. So I did enjoy that. But I will say this. I don't think I laughed out loud a lot. I laughed like yeah, but I don't think I laughed out loud a lot, and that's what I think was missing for me. But yeah, so what bads do you have, Brandon?
I think at times there were parts, and especially with some of the character archetypes, there were points that kind of dragged, where they kind of drew out some of the jokes and that sort of thing. I think that's kind of where they kind of messed up for me here and there. Some of the jokes were kind of overstate their welcome. Kind of like how, it kind of reminded me of Family Guy and how they draw out a lot of their jokes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just didn't know when to stop with certain stuff. I think that was my main thing. I'm trying to think of something else. I think that for all the character archetypes and cliche characters they had, Clifton, the dweeb character, even by this movie's standards, was a little too over the top at times. His dweebiness was funny at times. Other times they just kind of went a little too overboard with it, I thought, even by the standards of this movie. So I'd say those are like the main things that come to mind.
I think that some of the tropes were too much. Too many tropes. Sometimes and know why you're playing off of them, because it's a movie about tropes about black people dying first in all scary movies. So I mean, obviously you're gonna have the tropes for it. That board game bothered the hell out of me.
Really?
Like it really did. Like I just did not like the look of it. I didn't like seeing that in the movie theater. But I didn't like the inconsistency. I didn't understand why, if you had a gun, why wouldn't you have the gun immediately? Like, there's so many things that I had a lot of questions about. But more than anything, I didn't laugh out loud like I thought I was. Mm-hmm. And that's really my only thing, everything else was fine. The story was fine. I understood having these bad guys not really be the main bad guy. I saw that coming. Them voting Clifton off the island, basically. I saw that happening. But the only thing that I really had a problem with was I guess the tropes and not being laugh out loud funny, especially because that's what it was. It's a comedy, a horror movie comedy. So, all right. I guess that's where we are right now. Is there anything else you want to say about it before we get to our rating?
That's pretty much it for me. I had fun watching it.
So real quick, I was
gonna say, Tank, you want to jump in real quick?
Well, I know I got a question. So I know you say you didn't laugh out loud. Was there people in your theaters, either of you in your theaters, that were kind of like laughing, or was it just like a little chuckle here and there from other audience members?
My theater was getting laughs.
No gun.
Mm-hmm. I think I heard a lot of ha.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's so stupid. But smiling the whole time, like most of the time, people were smiling. It was very funny. It just wasn't like I'm dying laughing funny for something that is a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, because this is a comedy. It was also like a spoofy parody thing.
Yeah,
too,
but it wasn't really scary. It wasn't really scary.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to set it up?
Yeah. So I mean, Usually here, guys, we rate movies certain type of ways. We have now. That means you need to drop everything what you're doing and watch it right now. Go enjoy it in the movie theaters. You want to enjoy it with other people around you. You got later. We're gonna wait till streaming service puts it out there. We're gonna see it when we are folding clothes or whatever. We're cooking dinner. You can watch it then. Or then we have never. We literally don't want it on a TV screen ever. If you saw someone else watching it on a TV screen, you will break their TV just so they avoid watching it. Those are our 3 levels. Brand man, where do you have the Blackening?
As fun as I had with this, the only reason I would have to give it a later is because of the time of year that it came out. First and foremost, good call putting this out on Juneteenth holiday.
Good call, exactly.
That was great. That was great. So for that, fellow Black folks, I'm inclined to say now, but like just for general audiences, I have to say later because it's come out like in the midst of a bunch of other things, like summer blockbuster season. Really kind of easy to get lost in the shuffle. It's nothing you really have to rush out and see, to be completely honest, but it's still a fun time, but it's a fun time you don't necessarily have to rush out for. But it is pretty funny if you want to go see it in the theater. Just the thought of it makes me laugh.
I got you. Oh yeah, I am probably right where Brandon is. I mean, it was cool for me to see when I saw it, but I'm pretty much giving it a later. As I said, it was funny. I enjoyed my time doing it. I understand why it did so well at the Toronto International Film Festival. I mean, this movie really came out in 2022. It's really off a skit. So like and all the skit, everything makes perfect sense. But it's not like this. I mean, they're celebrating Juneteenth in the movie. Bringing it out on Juneteenth is great, but I think this will do better at the barbecue. Especially if I'm watching it with other Black people that I know, and we're all watching it together. I think it'll do really well. But yeah, for those reasons, I give it a later more than anything. So,
okay. Getting some of the comments.
Yep. So, what we got right now? We got Brandon say at the end, he should have put a usual suspects and straightened up his face, and that would be real dope. Like I was playing you guys the entire time, Clifton. Like yeah, that would be very cool. I would have enjoyed that. Like I was joking with you guys. I was this much. This guy. No, I'm actually very, cool, and I was playing you guys the whole time, and I'm going to kill all of you. Now I wish you almost would have won. That would have been very cool.
Yeah.
Brady also said the gay guy was over the top. They ignored the biggest heroes trope of all. The couple that had sex survived.
The horror trope.
A horror trope, yeah. Horror trope, yeah. The couple that had sex survived. If they did, hey, I'm all for it. War sex, good.
That's something else.
Oh, that's something. Okay, my bad. Sorry, but no, I mean those. It's interesting. It's thought provoking. I think. What you got?
No, the last one that Horror Geek brought up.
Oh, okay.
But the sex and horror thing.
The couples dying after having sex is more like 80s, 90s trope because parents were scared of sexual deviance.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they had all type of stuff in this movie. They had drugs, alcohol, sex, guns. It was all there. Police violence.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
They had it all. Not trusting people. And then even at the end of the movie, shocker, did you think they called the police after all that stuff happened went down? Yeah, right.
Was like, take notes, Jonathan Majors.
It's like just don't call the police, man. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, should we call them? One guy got shot twice and still decided not to call the police. So somehow this would somehow be my fault. No, I'm not doing it. But yeah.
Well, Brandon Davis said that he wasn't a fan. So he didn't like the movie.
I could understand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
It was okay. So I do want to talk about what we got Rotten Tomatoes. So right now, Rotten Tomatoes, Tomato Meter, 101 reviews. Tomato Meter gives it an 87. And the audience, over 500 plus verified ratings, gave it an 85. What do you think about that?
Higher than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm complaining.
Hey, Movie Insider gives it a 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. IMDb only gives it 6.5 out of 10 though.
I thought critics were going to be harsher on it, but you know, I'm not even mad. I'm pretty happy about that.
90% of Google users like the movie, so it's kind of up there with Flaming Hot. We're exactly what we said about Flaming Hot. This is that same type of thing. And the we're talking about box office. This movie that has already been released in 2022 is now made $8.65 million, which is fine because the budget for the movie is $5 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So $5 million budget, and your star character being killed in like the first 12 minutes. All those things happen, and this movie is probably going to make somewhere around $12 million, $13 million, and that's when you're doubling your actual budget, that works. So
Not bad.
Let's say what Brandon said. Those are the people that only go to church on Easter Sunday. And then Brandon says, I will stand on that hill. It was not that great. It was not great. I don't think any of us you're saying great, but it was fun. It was fun.
I had a fun time watching it. It kept me entertained.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that is our overall review for The Blackening. We both gave it laters, but we all both enjoyed the movie. Say there's something in the theater that you might want to watch, but later, if you're around other people, it'll be fun to watch that type of atmosphere too. But this is where we are at for this one. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so we are asking you guys to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification because we go live Mondays and Thursdays all the time, talking about all these movies and kind of do trailers and talking about now TV shows because finally we got Secret Invasion. But thank you guys for listening to our little review, and let me know what you guys are thinking. I love to read these things. Tank loves to read these things. Brandon loves to talk about these things all the time. So let us know what you guys thought about The Blackening. So that's all we got for this one. Yeah, you like to read them too. You like to fight with them too. So,
calling me out like that.
Tell us what you guys think. We will see you guys later. On to our next topic for the night. Thanks for letting us do this one.